A streaker on the field in Buffalo has the longest run of the day for the Bills. 3 UCLA basketball players are stuck in China, and nobody really cares. And Roger Goodell wants $50 million a year, a private jet, and health insurance for him and his family for the rest of his life. Okay, this is Sports Without Balls. Oh,
hello.
Hey, happy Monday, November 13th, people of the world. I know we have a lot of listeners in other countries. You guys, what a Monday. I'd like to start out by saying I'm chugging a coffee that Trish Suhr brought me because I was late and flustered.
Always
I had
happy to help.
A work commitment, and I lost my mind, and thank God Trish has control over pretty much everything and calm me down.
Will always be the Andy Richter to your Conan. You know that.
Trish Suhr, everybody.
Woo! Thanks, babe.
We have a fantastic guest today. Excited. I can't believe she hasn't been back sooner. That's because of my scheduling problems. She is a CNN lady.
Yes.
Contributor? Analyst?
Contributor. I've been contributing on the sports/social issues side. Yeah.
So excited.
A CNN sports/social contributor to CNN, and also a Sports Without Balls college football reporter, correspondent, Erica Davis.
Woo!
I'm clapping for myself if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Of course,
I
you
can
have
clap
to.
for myself here.
Everybody
Thank
has
you.
to get up and clap for themselves. And a big round of applause for Erin in the booth.
Yeah, Erin.
Go Cards.
Go Cards.
The dream's alive. Winter meetings.
Sorry.
Winter meetings. First of all, let me just tell you, you have a Monday morning, and it's just a GD delight to see you ladies to the right of me.
Right back at you, babe.
Right
Well,
back
we got here early.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you two were discussing.
When Eric and I have never met in person, and she's, first of all, you're a doll, and that's Southern, so she knows I don't mean that in some odd sexual harassment, like you don't have enough skills way.
Thanks, Harvey.
Yeah, thanks, Harvey. Every poor white man. Can I tell you, it's so amazing. Every poor white man now is petrified they're going to get called on something. Every white man I've ever, they don't even if they're a solid citizen, they're petrified they've done something like hold a door too long, like everything that wouldn't be construed. I'm like, it's okay, everybody, still have chivalry, it's cool.
Yeah.
But Erica and I instantly we started looking over what we're going to do today on the show, and y'all know how I have been in the past about Kaepernick, but I will say, if you don't know, he is GQ's Citizen of the Year. He's on the cover of GQ right now on a great cover. The shot's beautiful, very Black Panther-esque. It's gorgeous shot. The images inside are stunning. There's a beautiful shot of him running with a bunch of children. If you haven't seen it yet, down the street, it's beautiful. And I will tell you, I'm tickled that they named him Citizen of the Year.
Versus?
Like a Man of the Year.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's a little too muchy. Like, thank you for containing what it means, because I do think he has what I was telling Erica, I have not agreed in the past with Kaepernick's divisiveness career-wise, taking a stand for something that I mean, nobody gives a shit if I got up and did stand up and took an A for inequality, but I do it.
But we do actually. Yeah. We do care, because as a white woman in America, and as white men and white people in America, your voice means more than a Black person's voice. So I do care. We do give a shit, actually.
Well, and I thank you. That's sweet. But
that's not sweet. It's the truth.
But you know what I'm saying? I say it from a place of, I tell jokes. My job is not so life-changing. I can tell you what I think, but I don't get paid for that is the point of my story.
Okay.
I get paid to tell you a fun mess and tell them my mama and those stories. He played football, played technically, right?
Should
right,
be
at this point.
playing.
Should be playing.
Yeah, okay, so has the skill set of a quarterback.
Right.
And that's his job. That's his job. Like, it's your job. Unless it's like, I just feel like at the time, we've covered this 1,000 times, that it was very divisive career-wise. I think what happened since the train left the station and he could have been like, I was just doing it for a minute, or became a face of something, because he said it, death threats.
Right.
People probably come after his mama and daddy. Nasty, nasty mess. That's disgusting.
Right.
And I know it's a polarizing topic, but I love that they made him a citizen because whether people like it or not, it made you look at your stance on racism in America.
For sure.
And that's why I'm tickled to death that they did it, because it's a solid citizen move. Solid citizen move.
Yeah, and to your point about citizen, like I guess it's a semantics thing. I mean, I wouldn't have been offended, obviously, because I'm a Kaepernick fan. I'm an advocate of everything he's done to bring, I guess, visibility to these polarizing issues in our country. I would have been fine with him being called Man of the Year, even though that might have been more polarizing. I think that's the point. I think in America, we've gotten to the point where it's like, I don't want you to protest because I'm uncomfortable. Well, guys, protest are supposed to be uncomfortable. And before the show started, we weren't filming, thankfully, because
we were cussing and doing.
we were cursing and talking about bad things that could get us arrested.
I'm so angry I was late.
Well, and I come from this place of, and it has, I think I take things to the simplest form in the sense of simply. We are comedians. We are hired to make people laugh and have fun. Simply.
Okay.
He is a person who is an athlete paid to kick, carry, throw, run, and do a ball, right?
Wrong.
But
I mean, that's what he gets paid for. But I think it's so problematic, Trish, that we look at professionals as being one-dimensional. If you're a teacher, not only are you a teacher, you're a babysitter, you're a mentor. If you're a principal, you're an administrator, you're a mentor. You're a father figure to people. If you're a coach, like every person who's in any profession where you're working hand in hand with other people, your job is multidimensional.
yeah, but they're not. They're just looked up to because of a choice they've chosen to play a professional sport.
But
that's where I get saucy.
See,
But it does come with the territory, though. I mean, that's just like, I mean, that's just looking. You could say anything about any profession,
Right?
You know what I mean? I feel like that's just.
Well, that's why I say solid citizen, meaning I love that that's what it was, because to me, being a good human, kind to each other, solid citizen, just be a good, solid human. He has taken what he didn't necessarily ask for. This is where it's like, I don't think he did it originally with the most, Gandhi-esque intentions. I think he embraced it and took it to that next level. That's what I genuinely appreciate and applaud about him,
for
because
sure.
it has cost him, to a degree, his NFL career. Currently, it may rally back because he does have a skill set and is still young enough to do what he needs to be doing. So I say I applaud that he didn't back down to save $1, because I felt originally it was for $1. That's what I'm saying, that I really do respect that he was like, I've stood in it, trains left the station, and guess what? I'm the damn conductor. And I love that about him.
It has cost him his entire NFL career.
For
Just
sure.
to be clear, Tom Savage is the backup that's now starting with the Houston Texans.
Oh, God in heaven.
Tom Savage, no offense.
Yes,
about
all
Tom
offense to him.
Savage.
All offense to Tom Savage.
I hope he rebounds, but I think Mary Foley would be better than Tom Savage. That's my mother.
Hi, Mom.
So the fact that Colin Kaepernick is not at least getting a shot at the Houston Texans job, and then scroll down. Last week, I think we established, after my crazy quarterback analysis, that a third of the NFL has shitty quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah.
Starting
quarterbacks included in there,
Erica.
yeah.
Oh no, starting quarterbacks.
Starting quarterbacks, yes. She had a moment. I posted it on our Instagram. People were so hilarious about Erin's rabbit hole. She went down. She made up her own stat sheet.
We could just go down the list. We don't have time because I really want to get this moving. But we could just go down the list, and I could just really quickly probably give you 6 or 7 teams right now that Kaepernick is better than their starting quarterback. So for sure, it has cost him his entire career. There's no foreseeable future where he gets back on an NFL field. So you're right, Trish and Erica. You're both right. I know you're coming at from a little bit of a different slant, but for him to get Citizen of the Year, again, I would have been happy with Man of the Year, but Citizen of the Year, I'm sure that's probably too polarizing, whatever. But Citizen of the Year, thrilled. Absolutely thrilled with that.
Yeah, I just thought it was a very, and if you haven't read it yet.
Also, sorry to interrupt, the support system, after the total fallout, when the entire message was misconstrued, he has been picked up by a lot of people. Your Jay-Z's, white, black, whatever race and gender, which I think really helped solidify his point and the movement, and people just being like, wake up, you can't sweep this under the carpet yet again.
And I always try to remind people that if you're one of these people, whether you're a millennial or older, who champions and who reveres Muhammad Ali, you cannot in the same breath vilify Colin Kaepernick, because Muhammad Ali, did not believe in the war, and he also was a fist throwing up my fist. I'm for black people, helping black people. I'm against police brutality. I'm against the unfair treatment, mistreatment of minorities. That was Muhammad Ali's whole thing. People want to remember what they want to remember about him.
Also, the change of religion. Can you imagine if Muhammad Ali did
that
this today?
Hell no.
Can you imagine?
Right.
I know it's different time, but come on.
So I want people. So as you are revering Muhammad Ali, remember that even though Colin Kaepernick is not the champion that Ali was, they are fighting for the same kinds of ideals.
I think, and I'll leave it at this. I think, and Erin knows, my little brother is a Navy SEAL. When it all went down originally. My brother had physically just come back from a mission in the middle of nowhere, and we're both huge sports nerds.
Thank you for his service.
Well, and I will tell him.
Not thank you, but thank you. Thank you,
Girl,
brother. Hey,
it's
brother.
a team sport. But he had come back, and it all had just gone down. And he was like, what is his damn problem? So my first initial view was with my brother, who was like, dude, it's real easy to do when you've got a bunch of people out here, very, very, from a place of, it's a privilege. It's an American privilege. This isn't a black privilege, white privilege. It's an American privilege that you even get to do this as a damn job. Like you could be out with a gun over your shoulder fighting for your hometown because it's getting bombed on a daily. So that's his. Right. That's where my brother's brain came from, and I of course was like, oh my God, how offensive! How awfully offensive! You come home from being away from your wife and children to see this mess, and you're a huge sports fan, and you go, well, in God's name,
right?
I'm over here doing this crap, and you take a knee. So that's where the original, and I think a lot
of people came from that.
And I was about to say, a lot of people that even now think what all NFL teams are doing when they're locking arms or taking any, that it's against the military. I'm like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
That's what's so
not.
infuriating. Like, if you're Colin Kaepernick, you're like, how did this get so misconstrued?
Right.
Because it really became, I believe, and this gets back to my great disdain for Roger Goodell, I believe that the NFL spun it to be
an anthem protest versus
besides race, because all of a sudden that becomes massively polarizing in a billion-dollar industry.
Right.
It's much easier and cleaner to be like, he's taking a knee because he doesn't like this country, than it is to really bring up the real uncomfortable issue.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it
Trish,
is.
That's well said for sure.
That's where it was easier to make a country angry.
Right.
Because if you say you don't like the troops, burn in hell. There's every color out there fighting for this country.
Although Goodell, who we can't stand, and maybe we'll just jump to his joke so we can...
his joke. I
his
love you.
joke. Sorry.
He's a joke.
God, his requirements for staying on. So let's transition to that real quick. But I wanted to say that now I'm probably going to... can't remember the point I was going to make.
She'll have two more sips of that coffee.
What was right before?
It was military based that they really went after. I think.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The whole transition to Goodell is. I think the only thing Goodell was smart enough to do right was not immediately require and demand that the players have to kneel, because that
have to stand.
Yeah. She's going to have two more sips of that coffee.
When I say I am so lucky to have Erica and Trish to the right of me, this podcast would have been like my car would have been underwater.
She'd be talking about fishing and bowling.
That's a good segue enough to rip on Goodell, and then I want to jump into college football because we have our college football correspondent.
It's so exciting. And Erica's excited.
Goodell wants $50 million a year. If you don't know, Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, is up for a contract renewal. And, let's start with this. What he wants is $50 million a year.
49.5. Don't make him greedy.
Right. Sorry, 49.5 a year. Just to be like, okay, what time's the game start? A private jet and health insurance for his entire family and himself.
For life.
For life, though. Don't forget the for life.
For the rest of his life.
I mean, no one gets a severance pack. I don't care if you're the head of waste management or you're Les Moonves at CBS. Ain't nobody getting that damn severance pack. Like, what in God's name?
What does he do?
What does he do?
What does he do?
And I'll back up, Eric, if you don't know the history of Goodell, and you may not because you're incredibly intelligent on this. He started at the NFL as his first job and started his Paul Tagliabue's driver.
Yeah.
His driver.
Right.
Some bitch has never had another job.
But hold on. But what he is college educated though? Is it?
But I mean, like, I remember my social security number and I can do a beer bong. Not like,
Okay.
you know.
$50 million a year to head a business or an enterprise that basically, I'm not saying he isn't worthy. I'm not saying he isn't worthy of a salary, but when you're talking about $50 million for him just to kind of keep everything in place,
I'm going to take up for him.
That's insane.
I'm going to take up for him. You guys are going to probably jump across the table and slap me because I'm not a Goodell fan at all. But you know when players ask for like these huge contracts and like the random guy 9-to-5 plumbers at home saying, you should be happy you have this job. Why are you asking for so much money? Well, the way I look at it with Goodell as I do with players is that there's so much money in the pot through so many different avenues.
Ask.
You know, you got to ask. Like the NFL is not hurting for money.
No, you're right.
And
you're right.
he knows that what the NFL brings in per team that they're able to afford. I mean, it's probably consistent with what his worth is.
Well, let's be clear. He makes $44 million now, people.
Right.
Like, people act like this is some drastic jump.
Right.
What he's asking, I mean, put your brain around that.
I cannot believe he makes. I guess I knew it was high, but I had no idea we're talking these numbers.
Yeah.
You know, here's my thing, and I know this is like holier than holy, but here's what a good commissioner does. Like a commissioner that doesn't ask for $49.5 a jet and health insurance for his family
For life.
You know what he says? He says, you know what? I don't need to be making that type of money. I'm either going to stay at my salary or take a cut, and we're all going to use that money to improve player safety. We're going to put it in a pool,
That's true.
and if someone hurts themselves, we're going to do, I don't know, just something charitable, something.
He
we're
doesn't
gonna,
care.
Yeah.
But let me just finish. That's what I'm saying. Like he should, right? So if you're going to get paid, that's why I'm like, yeah, he can ask for it. But for this son of a bitch to ask for $50 million, he does nothing good. Nothing good. He's literally dropped the ball, literally and figuratively, on every single domestic violence issue.
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden Jerry Jones is ripping him a new one. So he's like 6 games on Ezekiel Elliott. So now Jerry Jones wants to get all the owners together to deny the contract, but the rule is like 6, right? There's like 6 owners. So, you know, Jerry Jones has
Can
has
I
a point.
ask a question? Does anyone know, because I don't know, that's why I'm asking, what the process is? Like, because to me it feels like a weird dictatorship. Like, why in God's name wouldn't they just replace him? Because he has to have pictures of some of those owners like having sex with a goat. Genuinely. No, because I'm going, why would you not just get rid of a human being? Because you wouldn't be in place if it wasn't for these owners. Why wouldn't you just put in somebody?
Because they're making a ton of money under him, and he besides with the protest thing, and maybe the mishandling of the domestic violence issues, which I think the NFL owners could honestly give a shit about.
I agree.
And don't think, oh, now they care about race relations, whatever.
Right.
No.
So I think it's just they're making money. What NFL owners getting slapped with any fine or punishment?
Right.
No. The only thing was the Ezekiel Elliott
And
that Jones lost his mind.
And maybe Deflategate.
And maybe
Deflategate. Yeah.
Which to me is hilarious that was like on par with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
I'm going.
No, it's ridiculous. He is
The bell curve.
the
Bell curve
yeah.
suspension. You're going.
yeah.
A deflated football and beating a woman. I don't know.
I mean it's ridiculous.
We should have a little bit of a sliding bar.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, the rich take care of each other. I mean, that's just. I mean,
Well, we all do. We don't have that kind of money, but
well,
you know
yeah, we take care of each other, but we don't count.
Right, but right.
We don't count.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. Like it's all wonderful when we're like, well, I'll snatch you up a coffee. Don't worry, I'll get you an extra pickles on your sandwich at Chick-fil-A. But on their level, it's like, hey, don't worry, I'll
Get me a
make sure.
private plane.
Yeah, I'll cover that up. Don't worry, and your wife can have health insurance for all her boob job needs while she sets up fake Twitter accounts. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. No, it
It'll be
really
fine.
is. It's the underbelly of. Oh, it's just an underbelly. It's just a gross, fat, corrupt belly. Let's talk about something fun.
Like the NFL this week?
The college. No, the college.
No.
Let's do college.
Oh,
Not
poor,
that fun to me because I'm depressed.
I know. Listen, Erica, for you listeners, she was on, maybe a year and a half ago now. Huge Georgia fan of Georgia, graduate of the University
Go Dogs,
of Georgia.
sick 'em. University of Georgia.
And Georgia, if you don't follow college football,
And you should if you don't.
and you should. I don't follow every week. I watch highlights. My sister's a professor at Baylor, so I started watching Baylor, and that didn't go well.
Right. They won their first game, though. They did win a game.
No, I mean just the off-season disgusting behavior. I was like, I really now am, no comment on that because my sister's employed there. Go Bears. And, I forgot, now we're videotaping. Wonderful.
excellent news.
Okay, I have mixed emotions cheering for Baylor. I think that's the legitimate.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I have to say this. It is around this season, especially in the last couple weeks. Like, for instance, we were in Arizona, and I was glued to the TV to see Ohio State and Penn State. I watched all the big games, right? But now it feels like legitimate, all in.
It is.
And the crazy thing about college football, I know you two are looking at me. I know you know this, but listeners who aren't familiar, every week is do or die.
Every week.
The pressure on these kids is insane.
It sucks because you in the NFL have an opportunity to suck for 3 weeks if you need to.
6 weeks.
Or 6 weeks if you need to. But in college football, you lose that first game. If it's super early, you have a little bit of cushion to redeem yourself. But if you lose a game late, depending on who it's against, then you're kind of done. And at this point, every game for the top 10 teams is essentially a playoff game. And that is a lot of pressure for 20, 19-year-old, 18-year-old little boys, kids.
Let's go over the
Erica was so cute, too. She said, hey, Trish, we play each other, Kentucky. We play each other this week. And I go, no, we don't. Okay. I go, no, we don't. We've got Kansas tomorrow. I was having a panic attack because as a Kentuckian, we don't acknowledge the football.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I was like, no, we it was so precious because I thought, oh, my God, what does it feel like to be a winner in football?
Hey, the same for you. What does it feel like to be a winner in basketball?
Patriots. You cheer for the Patriots.
I have been a Patriots fan for a long time. But no.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Disgusting.
I've loved them a long time, even through the crappy years.
Disgusting.
I went through the crappy years.
Okay,
Hard time. Not just the cute Brady years.
All right, so let's start with Georgia, and then we'll do standings and games coming up. Overall, here's my first question. Well, let's start with Georgia.
Okay.
I apologize. My brain is working at about a 65% rate.
CTE.
There's so many times I've hit my head onto the wall because Carol, my assistant, is just nowhere to be found, or my Giants are 0-89. In the words of Hillary Clinton, what happened?
What had happened what had happened was my Georgia people, fans following know that I've been worried about this Auburn game for a month.
Yeah.
It's the South's oldest rivalry, and it
really is.
It really, yeah.
People don't know what that really means.
It's like, look up, Auburn playing at UGA in 1996, and you see our mascot literally trying to bite a player.
It's a real bulldog, just so people
civil
know.
rights type shit.
Yeah.
Can I say that? Sorry.
You can say anything
Okay.
you want. F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb.
So
We have to keep Erica because she's precious and I love her. She's so fun. You're so fun.
Keep me. So I've been afraid of this game. But the good thing about it was an awful loss. Literally got raped in the booty, no KY jelly. And
I love her. I love her.
Wow, that is a visual that I'm going to try to forget.
And it's okay. It's okay.
What happened technically?
Well, technically, we just, our defense, our secondary dropped passes, penalty after penalty after penalty. We had a great first opening drive, but Auburn wanted it more. I know that sounds so cliche but they wanted it more. We were the top ranked. We were number one in the nation in the CFP poll, which is the only poll at this point that matters. And when you're number one in the nation, you have a target on your back.
Oh yeah.
But
girl, I just looked up the score.
Was it 10-40,
good.
right?
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I didn't even.
It was like 41.
17.
Oh, we ended up scoring. Okay, that's right. I got so drunk off of Jameson because
girl.
I was not emotionally equipped to deal with that. But
I've been there, girl.
So penalties, mistakes. But this is what I say. That was I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was 2008 when Florida was undefeated and they lost to Ole Miss. And then they went on to win a national
Tim
championship.
Tebow rant.
The Tim Tebow rant. That was our
I
Tim
tell you
Tebow
right
game.
now, there will never be another team that plays
Thank
as
you.
hard as we're going to play for the rest of the season. And I will tell you this. I will wake up every single day at 4 o'clock and I will kiss baby Jesus 1,700 times.
That's
and I
right.
tell you, when I get on the field, I will never, there won't be a
And let me tell you,
Good reenactment.
that was awesome. And you should play Tim Tebow in his 30 for 30 because that was good.
Can you imagine
that was
dating
good.
Tim Tebow? I tell you right now, I want to marry you. And every single day during our marriage, I will get down on one knee and I will ask you again to marry me every single day. And I will never forget that you are my wife.
Round of applause for that. Round of applause. Erin, seriously. But that's my emotion right now. Like, I feel like, of course, our quarterback did not say that, and our coach, Kirby, he's very understated, second year at Georgia, so he's trying to be a leader by not saying too much. I appreciate that. But I feel like that was our Ole Miss game, our Tim Tebow moment. I really do believe that we are going to win out. We play Kentucky, which is not a real team.
But we're not a real team.
We're not a real
No,
team.
it's okay.
It's not.
Look, you know it's bad when the fans are just plowed drunk before they even walk in the stadium.
The players, too, probably.
Players might have been taking a nip or three, and we don't even know what happened. It's just a sea of blue, and someone screams, "Go Cats!" And we don't know. It's a hard time.
But your cheerleaders are cute.
We're fun, and by the way, they're higher ranked than the football team. I mean, really, they're usually number one in the country in
That's
cheerleading.
right. That's right.
We got to get our wins somewhere.
Well, that's why you got basketball. Hey, basketball season has started. Go
And
Cats.
we are number 5 against this currently ranked 5 in basketball. Go Cats.
All right, let's talk this. I'm peppering you with questions, Erica
Okay, yes.
Davis. I didn't see the game. I saw the highlights. I also felt like it was like a little bit of the how do you call it? The expectations, the stage, the bright lights got the better of them, and it happens every single season, and it happens in every single sport.
Auburn's a really tough stadium to play. I say Tennessee Stadium on Neyland. That's a tough.
That is one of the craziest places I've ever seen a ball game.
It is the
Professional.
most intimidating stadium. Oh my God, Neyland Stadium in Tennessee, and then Auburn. It's a Jordan Hare, I believe that's the name of their stadium. Those are two very tough places to play. Now, our freshman quarterback, true freshman, did go to Notre Dame and lead us to a 1-point victory over the Irish, and everyone was like, "Oh, he has the balls, the gumption to stand up to the plate in these big pressure situations." And I think he does, but Auburn's a different beast, and they're number 10, and we were number 1 at the point, and we had penalties, and I just think the culmination of everything.
Sure.
It's a lot to ask for a true freshman quarterback.
It is.
Because
think
some
about
point
that.
they're going to get overwhelmed. I have to say this, and you're not going to like this.
Oh God, I don't want to curse you out on your own show.
Please don't curse me out.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to say it.
Please say it.
I have a soft spot for Auburn because of Jarrett Stidham. He was a quarterback at Baylor.
Okay.
And came in when this is like maybe 2 years ago. Whoever the quarterback, it was a senior quarterback for Baylor. It was like he was doing really well, and he had that terrible. No. This was just like literally like 2 years ago. And he got a terrible neck injury, right? So this kid Stidham comes in. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Stidham, Stidham.
It looks Stidham.
Stidham
Stidham or Stidham?
Stidham. Let's say Stidham.
Okay.
This kid comes in. Now I remember him because that was Tara's first year at Baylor, right? And I was watching every Baylor game, and Tara was not watching any of it. And I watch every single game, and the quarterback goes down, neck injury. This kid comes in, true freshman, and he was amazing. He was so fun to watch. Then he goes down with like a knee or leg injury, right? So then it was like third string. I don't know if you remember that. It was a bowl game 2 years ago, Baylor against, I think it was North Carolina, where Baylor had no quarterback. All three quarterbacks were hurt, and they wound up beating North Carolina because they ran the ball 790 times.
Right.
It was just because I watched it at the time. And I have a memory problem. I have no idea how I woke up, but I could tell you between Baylor and North Carolina 2 years ago. But this kid, right? Then the Baylor system crashes, all that horrible assault, all of it, the cover-up, everything disgusting, which mind you probably happens on every college campus, but Baylor,
except for not at UGA. But go ahead.
Except for Georgia.
Thanks.
Obviously, people are very polite. But this kid transfers. He drops out of Baylor. He's like, I don't want to be associated with any of this. Has to sit out a year. And now he's the starting quarterback at Auburn. That's the only reason why I know, because I was like, oh, I loved that kid. So I started watching. Plus, I always root for Auburn versus Alabama because I cannot stand Alabama. Okay. And so that's why I was like, I felt bad for you, but I was happy for this kid and all.
Had I known that before you asked me to come today, I would not have come.
Go Georgia, though. From now on, go Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
I have no connection or tie to Georgia.
Me? Come on. Are you kidding? No, get the hell out of here.
Knowing your personal happiness in the matter, if there is a game, listen. Georgia, when does Georgia, doesn't Georgia play?
We play Kentucky, then we play Georgia Tech, and then we have the SEC championship, and I will be there.
Right. So I will be cheering for Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yes.
Is it going to be Georgia-Alabama?
Well, okay. Well,
isn't it broken
up?
Well,
it is. So we're on the East, and Bama's on the West. However, Bama still has to play Auburn. So we've clinched the East already. So we're already in the game.
So you might play Auburn again.
And if we play Auburn again, let me tell you, I'm going to drink all the Jameson, all the Johnny Walker Black,
I'll
blue,
sit right next
red,
to you and
purple.
also drink. We will all watch that game together.
I don't want Auburn again. I seriously do not want it again. I don't want it with them because they have something to prove. And also, I think we match up better with Bama largely because our head coach is our second-year head coach. He was under Nick Saban for 7 years as a defensive coordinator. So Kirby Smart literally should have Bama's playbook.
Kirby Smart, how do I know that name?
Well, he's our second-year head coach. He was the defensive coordinator under Saban for 7 years. He played at Georgia. He played at UGA.
Maybe I know him as a player.
Maybe you know him as a player.
Kirby Smart, that name sounds so familiar.
But
I don't know what context.
I mean, he's the coach of the formerly #1 team in the nation. So there's a lot of talk about Kirby Smart getting the coach of the year. But that's probably how you know him. But that's my coach.
Maybe that's it.
Kirby.
Let's just discuss. Take 30 seconds. How much I hate Alabama. I know Nick Saban's a genius, but I can't.
Why do you hate Alabama?
I can't. He is so arrogant. He says all the wrong things. How many episodes have we quoted Nick Saban saying something disgusting and terrible and awful?
He just lives in his own kind of, as we all know, you get at a certain point, and in any career, but you get at a certain point where you are above the law, if you will. And Saban's just been there for so long that he buys his own headlines.
Yeah, let me take an NFL coaching job and then just quit 4 games in. How about that? Remember that? Miami Dolphins?
Yeah,
not my jam.
Remember everyone was standing up. It was like Popovich. All these coaches came out of nowhere to support. It was either Women's March or the Trump care.
Right.
He literally, it was that awful quote of I have no place in society to comment on anything or something like that. And you're like, oh, but you do. You have the #1 college football program in all of college football forever.
But he kind of just takes the Bill Belichick route in a sense. Bill Belichick would never comment on something that
But just don't comment on it.
Don't say anything.
But he came out to comment saying I shouldn't comment.
Gotcha.
And you're like, go fuck yourself.
Right.
You're in charge of boys. You are in charge of 18, 19, 20. Your influence over these kids to do the right thing is your civic effing duty.
Yeah. Well, and as you say, this is the difference, right? In my mind, and we were just discussing when someone, whether you like it or not, getting back to Charles Barkley, I didn't ask to be a role model. Yeah. Okay, great, but as a coach, that.
You are.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
It's actually in your job description, and it's much different when you were in college, and down than it is obviously a Bill Belichick who does have. I don't want to say underling coaches, but assistant coaches, for lack of a better word, junior coaches to take care of younger children, younger kids when they come into the NFL on their team that are still baby children, because that's what Belichick's not there to do that. Belichick's there to get wins and craft a bigger game plan, right? Saban is in place who has, I'm sure, junior coaches to be in charge of these little children's well-being who, has to get them some Taco Bell because they don't have 2 nickels to rub together.
Right.
Fine, but don't say crazy mess. At least get up and just don't say.
Don't say. I can appreciate that.
Pick your lane and don't say.
Yeah, it was so, anyway, I could stack up the list of reasons I can't stand him, but I also appreciate that he's an amazing coach.
Yeah.
I think, if you were from Alabama, these are glory days.
Right.
He gets the best players. He does great things with them. Not taking I just don't like him, and I don't like I also you just get so sick of teams that win and win and win and win and win.
See,
you know what I mean?
Listen, I definitely hope we beat Bama.
Except if it's your team.
Well, if it's your team, you're loving it. And also, people, I think across other Power 5 conferences get tired of SEC fans cheering for each other. And I don't know if that's a thing in the Pac-12 or the Big Ten, but even though I hate Bama and the world hates Saban, I appreciate that he's a savant, and I appreciate that players who commit to him think about Georgia, after they, commit to them. Or they might say, oh, it's either Georgia or Bama. So I guess the benefit of having a Saban in your conference is that you get his leftovers. And that sounds,
I understand.
It's understandable.
And that is why SEC fans are such homers for the entire conference, because there's a trickle-down effect. So you might hate Saban, and I might hate Saban. I don't want to lose to him when we play him, but I'll take your leftover players who don't want to go too far from home.
I also think Alabama players, like if you take college football players from Alabama, right? We have Landon Collins. He's one of my all-time favorites. When he's not just taking a nap for the last couple of weeks, which is understandable because no one really wants to play for the New York Giants.
Right. Which I can't wait to cover.
Y'all got to get rid of Eli. Eli, you're
no,
done.
Joe.
Oh, wait. Finish this thought, and we'll jump right there.
Sorry.
Because she might stroke out, Erica, and I got to keep her
we
here.
We have a couple more
I
college
love
football
Eli.
things.
I love Eli. I'm sorry.
Please, just can't. That's the only rule. Don't rip on Eli Manning or Derek Jeter, and we're going to be totally fine. Because I'm a little bit too sensitive.
Okay. I respect that.
Oh, my God.
And then I have to defib her, and then you and I'd be down a crazy mess road, and I'd be over here trying to bring her back.
Yeah, someone has to bring me back. Let me say this. The only position that has not done well historically under Nick Saban is the quarterback.
Of course.
Because the O-line is so good, from Alabama that they have 89 minutes, and then all of a sudden they get drafted to the Cleveland Browns, who actually don't bother having an offense.
But also
line.
the SEC, we're not a quarterback conference. We're a running back conference. Georgia's running back. You have running backs and O-linemen coming out of, these are big fat, Midwestern boys. Yeah, they eat corn, but in the South we eat cornbread, chicken, liver, steak, freaking
These
pigs.
dudes are awesome.
You're right. So that's not just a Bama thing. We have Matthew Stafford coming out of Georgia. We got Peyton and Eli.
There are examples, but specifically Alabama. Erica, I see you. I see you. All right, let's do this. Games coming up. Right now, this is just an NCAA. This is AP Top 25.
Right.
Now, isn't it Tuesdays that comes out,
So Tuesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, we'll have the actual official CFP poll, and that is the only poll that matters.
So let's discuss this poll, because this is what we have right now.
We
Alabama, number 1.
We hate it.
You're going to hate it. Miami, number 2.
Which, let me tell you, I have some big problems
Catholics
with that.
versus convicts, round 2. Oh, that was a beatdown.
Who expected that?
Whoa.
And TV timeout, please. I just want to say to everybody who is still hanging on Coach Rick's nuts, because, he was our coach for 15 years, and then we fired him.
Oh, that's right.
And now he's at Miami. Just because Miami is doing well does not mean that we did not make the right decision to fire him. I believe that there were some politics in place that were not allowing Coach Rick to maybe be more creative, offensive. I just ate the microphone. that it wasn't allowing him to be as creatively offensively. I think that now he's calling plays again, and I think that because the other power schools in Florida are not recruiting as well, I think that he has a perfect storm of, he's a perfect storm now. So all you Georgia fans and my classmates who played under Coach Rick, listen, I know that's your coach, I know that's your homeboy, I know he was your mentor / father figure, but peace the F out to Coach Rick. It was time for his ass to go.
Sometimes, but that's beautifully said, because a lot of times you just have to culturally change the culture at the school. And it doesn't mean they're a crappy coach.
Doesn't, yes.
It's just the culture at that school has to change.
Thank you.
And it's a guy that is batting .212. He goes to a new team. He bats .312.
Thank you.
It's just different time, different places. Listen, Giants are doing well. Let's get rid of Coughlin and bring Ben McAdoo with no experience. And he slicks back his hair, and he's the head coach, and go 0-90. Anyway, so Alabama number 1, Miami number 2, Oklahoma 3,
right?
Clemson 4. Wisconsin.
They're going to lose. We're not. Go ahead.
Wisconsin 5. Wisconsin's going to be a team Erin Foley is going to keep her eye on because I love Madison, Wisconsin. Auburn 6, Georgia 7.
Auburn with 2 losses above Georgia.
I don't get that.
Just head to head. It'll probably change. It
will
other
change.
Poll.
I think so, too.
Ohio State 8. There's the dark horse. Notre Dame 9. I think they're out of it.
They're
Oklahoma
out of it.
State 10. USC moved up to 12.
Who cares?
Well, I'm a Pac-12 lady.
Why?
Just because I live out here, and my ex was Washington State, so then I just started
I know this story.
researching all the Pac-12, everything. We broke up. It's fine. She broke my heart. Anyway, and we're back.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
No, we're
and
back.
we're back.
Oh,
The
and
Sports
we're
Without
back.
Balls.
Okay.
No, she said she didn't want to get married. She has a wife and kid. Anyway, here we go. So it's totally fine. Everything's going to end up
I'll go get her a second soy latte and a defibrillator.
Now, here we go. Everything's going to be completely fine because, Trump's... anyway, yeah, we're all going to die.
Wait,
all right, here we go.
Did you see the latest about Trump asking the Chinese president?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, that we're getting to that
We'll get
story.
to that. Sorry, I jumped the shark because the stuff that makes me crazy makes me so crazy.
Let's do, because I know we have a bunch of other stuff to get to, but let me tell you this. You put on your future hat. Mm-hmm. Give me this. Give me some bold predictions
for this weekend's games, or
just we're doing rest of the season. Who are you keeping your eye on besides Georgia?
Of course.
Who's your dream top 4?
Oh, okay. My dream top 4. Okay, so if I am correct, I think 1 and 4 get the Rose Bowl. And if that is correct, I would like for Georgia to end up either being 1 or 4 because we live in LA and I have a hookup.
Oh yeah,
I got to plug to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
But
does 1 and 4 get the? Isn't
it
SEC? Isn't it?
It's
the.
It's the Sugar Bowl and the Rose Bowl. But I can't remember who gets.
Do they rotate which is the national championship game, or is it always the Tostitos?
Well, now that we're out of BCS, no, we don't do that anymore. So now the championship game this year is in Atlanta. So anyway, to answer your question, my dream top 4, Georgia against everybody else. Thank you. But who I think is going to actually end up in the top 4, I think it's going to be Oklahoma. I think Miami will end up in the top 4.
Ooh,
I do.
Over Clemson.
I do. I do, because Miami.
Well, they'll play each other.
They play each other.
Yeah. The winner Miami Clemson gets in.
So the winner of Miami Clemson gets in. The winner of Bama Georgia or Bama Auburn will get in.
Mm-hmm. If
Oklahoma gets in,
and then Wisconsin.
I don't believe in Wisconsin.
Well,
I think don't they have Michigan this week?
Well, they've got the bigwigs. But if Wisconsin beats, I think they have something like Michigan, Ohio State, and.
I'm going to put Ohio State
Iowa
in there.
or something.
Right.
So I don't know if they'll get unscathed, but it's going to be interesting if everyone just keeps winning and Wisconsin's undefeated.
They won't be. Really. You mark my freaking word. Wisconsin will.
Mark Erica's word.
The fact that they're undefeated at this point is still somewhat beyond me, but that will also work itself.
I tell you, out of all those teams, obviously I've got to now cheer for Georgia,
yes, you
but
do.
I'm all in with Wisconsin.
What?
All in with
really?
One of my favorite comedy clubs is Comedy Club on State in Madison, Wisconsin. I love Madison, Wisconsin.
She has a real
I've got a
thing.
jersey from a lady gave me, literally ripped it off her boyfriend. That was a women's hockey NCAA Wisconsin jersey. That's in my.
She loves.
I love
Lambeau. I'm just
I
going
love
through all
Wisconsin.
Things.
I love Wisconsin. I love cheese curds.
She loves cheese cards. She loves a cheese card.
I love the diversity.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay. I was going to say okay.
No diversity.
I didn't think they
I like
had that in Wisconsin.
I like the
but
Brew
okay.
Crew is one of my first hats. I won at a fair when I was 7. The old Milwaukee
Brewers.
Brewer.
No.
I got a lot of ties. When I don't have a horse in the game, this is how
This is how
I
she
get it.
justifies.
I kind of do that too with NFL because
Baker Mayfield can.
You hate Baker Mayfield?
I can't stand
Why do you
him.
hate Baker Mayfield?
He's an arrogant son of
But what? I mean, so what? That's what you got to be when you're a quarterback.
I don't like him. Deshaun Watson, love.
Why do you love Deshaun and not love Baker?
Oh, we don't have enough time.
Okay.
Because he doesn't mouth off. He doesn't run onto the field and stick a flag and flip everybody off in midfield.
But that's what college football is about.
The chatting. I just doesn't. It's not even him. It's the arrogance of the. I love athletes. They do their job. They leave.
No.
I'm like, oh, who are you, Baker Mayfield?
You know what? People like Baker Mayfield do? They give us storylines. They make the whole season come even more to life. Because if it wasn't for personalities in college,
you're right.
You know,
I just don't like them.
You need a villain. That's fine. And
you need a villain.
You can have your villain.
Need villains.
You can have your villain.
You do need villains.
I tend to side with the villain.
Yeah.
Except for Trump.
No. Well said. No, you do. You do. You need all these personalities. You need. You can't like everybody.
Okay.
Not liking someone is so fun.
Oh, see, I do really usually like everybody. That's why it's hard for me having somebody a hateful mess like Roger Goodell that I try to avoid, and then the son bitch keeps popping up like a bad whack-a-mole. I can't take it.
It's also fun to hate team. Hate. Obviously, I'm joking, but like really dislike teams for the stupidest reasons.
Yes,
I am
true.
the queen of that.
True.
Queen of that. And it's fun. That's what makes sports fun. I'm going to say Clemson beats Miami. Clemson gets in. I'm going to say Miami doesn't get in. Oklahoma, if they went out, they're in.
They're in. They're definitely
I
in.
just cannot pick Alabama because it just.
It's
but they are
Alabama.
beatable, though.
They are beatable.
Yes.
They're definitely beatable.
I read a report this morning that like 4 or 5 of their linebackers are hurt.
They're
and
very
out
they're
and,
very banged up, and then
Yeah.
that showed in the game against Mississippi State where they won last minute, like 11 seconds left in the game. Although Mississippi State they're a solid football
Yeah.
team. I mean, they aren't as good as an Auburn or Georgia or
Sure.
an Alabama, but they are solid. They've been ranked top 25 virtually the entire season. But Bama is banged up, and so
It would just be nice to get some new faces in there. Like I'd love Georgia. I'd love Wisconsin. I'd even like Oklahoma because the Big 10 or is that Big 12?
Big 12. They're Big 12. Yeah.
It'd be nice to get a Big 12 team in. Just new faces, new teams.
Yeah.
I don't need Georgia. I don't need Alabama and Clemson in the top 4 again going into college football playoffs. You know what I mean? They're always in for the last couple of years. It'd be fun to have new teams in.
I have one concern.
What's your concern?
Georgia, motherfucker.
That's what I mean. Like if Georgia's new, get Georgia in there. Get Wisconsin in there. Get even Miami in there.
Okay.
I like new teams.
Oh, Erica, you tickle me, and I love it.
Here's just because it's just been so dude heavy. Let's do 2 female sports shout outs and then we'll do maybe some picks.
Yep, NFL picks.
And then feel good moment of the week.
We're not talking about Eli and the Giants. I mean, we got to talk about that right now.
It'll get in there in just a hot butter.
Okay,
It'll get in there, but honestly, like we talked about it last week, and it just feels like
there's nothing new to talk about.
Well, no, I mean it's just at the end of the day, you have to wait and see what they're going to do with the coaching staff. Do they want to burn the whole thing down, get rid of everybody, start fresh? Do they want to get a quarterback that Eli can groom? Do they want? It depends what direction the team wants to go in. I do think he's got football left in him.
Do you?
Completely.
You're fangirling right now.
No, it's just I wouldn't. If I was coaching the New York Giants, I wouldn't want to get. I would want to have. If I decided, okay, David Webb, who we picked last year in the 3rd round, if we say he's not it, and we go, if we have, oh my God, I'm not being eloquent. We're going to probably not win another game. So it's going to be the battle of New York Giants and Cleveland Browns to get first pick, right?
Right.
So let's just assume New York Giants will pick, they'll win maybe 1 or 2 more. Cleveland probably won't. So Cleveland's sitting with number 1. Let's say Giants are sitting with number 2.
Okay.
If that happens, all right, so where do we go? What direction do we want to get? Saquon Barkley.
You want to do running back.
If the Cleveland Browns don't take a quarterback,
right?
Which every quarterback in college is like, I'm going to stay in college
right.
and get my graduate
Forever.
degree. Then I would say I would take Saquon Barkley because to me he is such a game changer, and Eli can manage another year or 2, and then you develop a young quarterback under him.
You know what, Erin? Like back in the day, like when we were growing up, that's what we did. Like you would get a young quarterback, and he would stay under under a Rodgers, for example.
Sure.
Yeah. And you would have 2 or 3 years of an apprenticeship type thing. But that hasn't been the case in the past 5 or 10 years. Like you throw Johnny Manziel out there, you throw Mark Sanchez out there, you throw Deshaun Watson out there. So old school way, I agree with you, but that's not what teams do anymore.
But it's some teams do and some teams don't.
Okay.
A year. Give them a year.
I say you guys need a JT Barrett. I feel like a JT Barrett could do what Eli's. And I know it's not.
I'm not taking JT Barrett over Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a fucking game changer.
He is.
JT Barrett has good weeks and bad weeks.
He does.
He's also
not
been in college
consistent.
football for 17 years.
Which I like it. I like his 27 years old. He's a 27-year-old rookie.
JT Barrett on my fucking first pick.
You never know.
I like him.
Right.
I like him.
I'm
cheering for him. But for me, I can't see anybody but Saquon Barkley. If the Browns take Saquon Barkley, I think the Giants totally should get a young stud quarterback.
Okay.
Take Eli. He's going to be killed if a young stud quarterback starts for the Giants next season with probably a new thing,
O-line.
He's going to get fucking killed. So just put Eli in another year.
And let him get killed.
Have him. You're better off in a winning percentage with Eli than a Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
True that.
And I'm protecting the young guy until we shore up our O-line.
Okay.
Look what happened to Andrew Luck. Yeah, he went 11-5, 11-5. He has no shoulder.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
Anyway, ladies, all right, let's do a soccer and hockey shout out, and then we'll do some picks. The women's national team had their last two friendlies of the year on Thursday, 1-1 against Canada. And then last night, I tell you, I was working. I had this assignment, and I was working. And to sit down at 7 o'clock last night, it should have been 6, but Megan had to watch The Walking Dead. That's my twin sister. We live together, and we're in our 40s, and it's fine. And so she had to. She has a boyfriend. I'm seeing someone. Nobody panic. She had to watch The Walking Dead. And then I sat down at 7 o'clock, and I watched my sweet U.S. women's national team, and it was pure. I'm trying to recover.
You're dying. You're dead.
It was pure joy. It's just when Trish starts laughing, I can't stop laughing.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
It's just like I love these women so much, and it was the last friendly of the season. And if you're a women's soccer fan, you are with me preaching to the converted. This year, Coach Ellis has called up 30 different players throughout the year, trying to figure out the mixes, the matches, 16-year-olds, 25-year-olds. She's tinkering, because next year starts the World Cup qualifiers. Mm-hmm. Now, there has been some games throughout this year where you're like, I don't even know who these people are. Why are you playing a forward on the back line? Where's Megan Klingenberg? Where's this person? And it's been frustrating, right? So at the end of the year, we went 12-3-1, still a great year, but we went 4-3-1 versus the top 10. Not great. However, the last time I questioned Jill Ellis, she won the World Cup. So no more questioning. I did like the tinkering. I liked the new people, but I'm just going to say this. There is one player time and time again, which is, I think, the most exciting female soccer player I've ever seen in my entire life, and that is Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, yep.
She is 32 years old. Mind you, there was 3 players at one time that were 16, 2 for Canada, and we didn't have Mallory Pugh in, but she's like 18. So, they're coming younger and younger and younger and younger. She came back from 3. She's had 3 ACL injuries.
Jeez, Lord. 3
ACL injuries. Just also had her knee scoped out this season in the middle of the NWSL season.
She's bionic.
She is bionic, Trish. If you watch this game last night, now Canada is no joke. They were a joke, and now it's exciting because there's a lot of the female soccer or just soccer for women, has taken on like all these teams now. France, Germany. All of a sudden, the Netherlands are coming in out of nowhere. Canada's got a fierce team, and this is just all awesome for soccer. But Rapinoe last night was running circles around not only our players, but the entire team of Canada. It was awesome to watch. So cool. She's a freaking dream sequence. Yeah. She's amazing.
I missed it.
Can I tell you? I just got.
But I like this. Yeah. I appreciate this.
She's really just
she's an amazing player.
Pleasure to watch.
I got an alert on my phone. Clearly, it won't be breaking news by the time this airs, but that Italy failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 1958. Just now,
Italy men's soccer team won't be in the World Cup.
4-time champions, last one in 2006, but this is the first time since 1958 that Italy has failed to qualify for the World Cup.
Oh my God, that's like there's going to be rioting in the streets.
Yes, that's what I was just thinking. That they're not even going to know what to do with themselves.
I mean, our men's team didn't qualify for the World Cup, and everyone was napping during the breaking news.
I actually watched that.
I'm all in with the men's soccer. I was
am
devastated.
Too, actually,
I was so upset. It's just, they get paid more, so good for them. They'll be sleeping while the women's team gets 62 cents on the dollar, and the men's team are buying $1 million cleats. So anyway, congratulations, U.S. Women's National Team. Another good year. It's been super fun to watch, and the next year we'll kick off the qualifiers for the World Cup. But it was such a pleasure to watch them, and I got to see them play live twice this year, which was super exciting.
What did you go to? Wait.
This last night was San Jose, but I was
okay
in front of the TV. Just criticizing people's playing while drinking a beer in my lazy boy.
That's pretty much how we do.
As you do. Okay, quick shout out. This seems like just a headline you gloss over, but when the Olympics are coming up in February and the sport I go nuts over is the women's hockey team, and we lose every single year to the Canadians. U.S. beats Canada 5-1 to win third straight at the Four Nations Cup. That is a hard headline.
Yes,
it is tough
because it's
third and fourth
first.
But let me tell you this: they beat the Canadians 3 different times. We never. When I'm telling you the last time we almost came close was the 2014, and the goal went off the post.
Ooh.
I was wearing my Wisconsin jersey.
You in this Wisconsin jersey,
It's getting to be a lot.
I'm over it.
I'm just very excited. Hillary Knight, she retweeted one of my tweets when I tweeted at her, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. Hillary Knight scored Amanda Kessel. Her brother plays for the NHL. Lady hockey. Yes.
You know what? I'm down with women's hockey, actually.
Oh, it's fun.
They're
There's no checking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They have to stop on a dime. But men just barrel through.
They do.
They have to stop on a dime because they cannot hit. They cannot check.
That's crap.
It's amazing.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could take that away and then take all the wonderful women of roller derby and
combining sports, Trish? I love it.
I just was thinking because those mother truckers can check.
They are some beasts.
They are
in a good way.
Beasts in a good
way.
Oh, the best beasts ever. Okay, let's do this. One more really piece of fun news. WNBA fans, Katie Smith, longtime assistant to Bill Laimbeer, is going to be the coach of the New York Liberty. Woo-hoo! She was one of my favorite players in the 90s. She played for Minnesota, then she played for Laimbeer in Detroit. And I was at a Liberty game in August, and I looked at the bench, and I was like, is that Katie Smith? It's weird to see people out of uniform in a small heel.
Yeah. Hello. Rant. Not
wait. Are you anti-Kitten Hill?
No. But sometimes it's just not
built.
Yeah.
It's just.
Sometimes,
I wanted a boot.
Okay.
I wanted a boot.
When you're not fashion forward has nothing to do with you can't rock a kitten heel.
Yeah.
But when you don't understand maybe what your look is.
Right.
And that is purely me. I get very aesthetic heavy. Yeah. When you need a stylist.
I wanted a tall boot instead of a kitten heel. But Katie Smith is one of the greatest female basketball players of all time, and the fact that she's leading the Liberty.
That's huge.
Very exciting.
Congratulations.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Do we, Erin, what do we got for time right now? 57. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Can we do insane speed picks?
Yes. Okay. We'll do it.
And then feel good of the week, and
Absolutely.
we're out. We could be done in 10 minutes tops.
Super fast.
Okay, super fast. So this is just gut fast.
Good, because I know nothing.
How did we do last week?
Oh, I'm going to tell you. So week 10 of the NFL, which was last week, we had our guest here, Jenny McNulty, who was a doll and a rabid Lions fan. We did our picks. Erin, you came in as the big winner right now with 10 teams, 10 wins.
Pretty good.
I had 8 and Jenny had 9. Now, to be fair, we don't have Monday Night Football has not been played. We all picked the Panthers.
Okay, so
that's
that
probably
should
going to
be
be a
good.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd like to say yet again your quote, which I will get made into T-shirts. Everybody, I'd rather go to class than go to Cleveland.
I like it.
So good
I
because
like
that's
it.
how bad nobody wants to play for the Browns. So this week, week 11, we're going to go through very quickly. The second team is always the home team. Sometimes I will actually say it again on accident,
Okay,
but here we
okay.
go.
Okay, here we go.
Week 11, first up, Thursday Night Football. We've got Titans at Steelers.
Titans. I was just going to put the timer code on. Titans at Steelers.
Steelers.
Oh, we're all so good. Steelers it is for everybody. Okay, Buccaneers at Dolphins.
Oh, no one's going to win. Battle of the most depressing teams in Florida. The Buccaneers at Dolphins. I don't. Bucks.
I'm Bucks.
I'm saying Dolphins because Jameis is out.
Home field. But they did beat the Jets, but that's not saying anything.
Okay.
It depends how much poop is in Cutler's pants.
I love you so much. Lions at Bears.
Lions.
Lions.
Okay, we're all okay. All right. Let's do Cards. The Cardinals at the Texans.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh God.
Cardinals.
I mean, if everybody was healthy, this Texans team. I don't.
That's Savage. We've already dragged
I know.
Savage. Come on.
I guess Cards.
Cards. I pick for everyone.
I'm going to be the lone Texan.
Texans.
I just think they need it this week. That's where my gut's at. Okay. Redskins at Saints.
Ooh, I will watch this game.
Yep.
But I'm rolling with the Dome and the Saints.
Saints.
Yeah.
And this is the only time I've picked them this
They're
year.
on a roll too.
They are on a roll.
Yesterday was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, that was a woodshed whooping. That really was.
Woodshed whooping.
It's a country thing, and
Literally
I
right
appreciate
back
that
there.
Erica understands.
Woodshed whooping.
No, well, I'll tell you who else got a woodshed whooping was the Cowboys, honey.
Oh my God,
so
that made
fun
me
to
so
watch.
sad.
Elliot.
That is so sad.
That was a take your butt out back, pick your own switch,
your
get
own
your axe.
switch.
That's
Right.
that kind of beating.
Pull your pants down, get your bare
All right,
booties.
keep going.
Okay, sorry.
Bengals at Broncos.
Bengals at Broncos. Oh God.
I don't think anybody's gonna win that one either.
I think that's a sinkhole. I'm literally doing purely home field.
Okay.
Light air.
I'm going to say Bengals.
I'll say Broncos, but
I'm doing Broncos only because of the altitude. I swear to God.
That's a good point.
That's an awful thing to say. Okay, Eagles at Cowboys.
game of the week. I'm picking Eagles because no Elliott. They look flummoxed.
I'm going to say Cowboys because I'm a Dak rider.
Oh, I
Dak's
like,
awesome.
yeah, Dak's a
Dak's
doll,
great.
doll baby. Okay, the Jaguars at the Browns.
Oh God, how exciting! People are going to be lined up selling their tickets for negative $1 million. Jaguars.
Jaguars are on a little bit of a roll too.
They're on a bit of a roll.
That's
Blake
kinda shocking.
Bortles is like, I can throw this.
We're doing it. The Ravens at Packers.
The Ravens still play football?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
they've Joe Flacco's got 17 years more to go.
They put Ray
Ravens at
Lewis back
Packers?
in. I mean, that's how bad. Okay.
I don't know. I guess I have no confidence, honest to God, in either team. I'll go with home field advantage Packers.
I'm going to say Packers. Hundley had a little bit of a coming out party last night or yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
All right.
Packers.
I'm Packers. This is Rams at Vikings.
Oh, now that is going to be an awesome game. I'm going to write that down. Now, who would have thought Erin Foley pre-NFL season said, I'm excited about the Rams at the Vikings?
I know. I would have never thought.
Here's the questions. Rams are just legitimately good under a 32-year-old coach. He might even be 31.
He is 31.
Vikings have put it together, and now you got the whole thing. Is it Case Keenum or is it Teddy Bridgewater?
Bridgewater might be back though.
No, he's back.
Yeah.
Technically, cried on the sidelines.
Right.
Such a feel-good story. It didn't make our cut, but he was third. He was third. I'm cheering for Bridgewater. I'm all in with the Rams. I'm saying Rams.
I say Rams too.
I say Rams too, and they are so underwhelming until this year. So it really disgusts me that I have to say Rams. Sorry, LA fans.
I know.
I love that we all
I'm
have the same
excited.
attitude. Hey, no, I am too. And look, it yet furthers our point, and I'll go right back into this, that we need to get rid of the Chargers. LA needs one team. We've got too many.
One
Yes,
team.
Lord, send the Chargers to Oakland.
Send the
So-
Chargers.
Back
Leave.
to San Diego. Those poor people don't have anything to live for down there.
Or right
They've
into
just
the
got
Pacific.
They've got perfect weather. Everybody's pretty. Give them a team
Nice.
back.
Yeah, they like their Chargers.
They think
we
they're
don't.
fun. We don't care for them. Or at least send them to like your Belinda. Somewhere in the middle. Okay.
All right, we got literally 1 minute minute to do the rest.
Chiefs at Giants.
Chiefs at Giants. Oh, what a nail biter, Chiefs.
You're going to pick against your boy.
Well,
I have to.
Chiefs.
No, because I'm cheering for every other team, so we can
that's
take
right,
on
that's
Barkley.
right.
So I'm still cheering for the Giants.
Okay.
You want the Giants?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Chiefs
Just
are going to win. Chiefs are going to win.
Bills at Chargers.
Oh God, let's see here. The ratings are gonna be skyrocketing. The Chargers are. Bills are. You have no idea. Chargers are better than what we thought.
But are they?
They are.
But they always do that
'cause they have
last
4
minute
wins.
letdown.
Always lose at the very
Last
end.
minute
Let's say
letdown.
the Bills regroup and beat the Chargers.
Bills. I'm going Bills as well.
I say Bills. Okay. All right. We've got Pats at Raiders.
Pats.
I'm going to say Raiders just because yes, Raiders.
Really?
I'll be cheering wholeheartedly for the Raiders, but after a 40-year-old weekend at Bernie's, Tom Brady decimated the Broncos with such precision. He gets better every snap.
does,
It's
he does.
insane.
It's because
he's
he was
so good.
on
It's
his
insane.
bye week. He was in Costa Rica planking with one of his babies on his back.
He's
probably.
just so God. I
amazing.
wish I liked him.
I'm glad
It would
I
be such a
don't.
pleasure
Yeah.
to watch him play.
It is joyful.
But I get no joy.
I'm sorry.
All right, here we
All
go.
right, Monday Night Football, last one. Falcons at Seahawks.
Oh, that's going to be a good game. I don't know what Falcon team is going to show up, and the Seahawks are a little bit better, and that is a very hard stadium to play in. So I'm going to go with the Hawks.
I'm going to say the Seahawks, too. I mean, Doug Baldwin and Graham last week, and, of course, Russell Wilson were as impressive as always. Let's go Seahawks.
They're fun. They're fun to cheer
I
for.
picked the Falcons.
Okay, here we go. We've got 2 feel-good moments of the week. Oh, wait a minute. Listen,
What?
a quick back on the bus. I know this is quick, but a quick back on the bus. We always wind up putting one member of the Ball family back on the bus.
Oh, my God.
But now we have a third member of the Ball family to be back on the bus, and that is what is his name?
LiAngelo.
LiAngelo and 2 other UCLA basketball players. All of these basketball players are back on the bus. They are in China. What a wonderful experience.
Exhibition game.
Exhibition games. You're playing for UCLA.
Representing a country and an amazing school.
Thank
and you
you.
decide to steal Louis Vuitton glasses.
Right.
From the Louis Vuitton. Because we don't have a Rodeo Drive you could lift them from here.
Three different stores,
different
though.
stores.
3 different
Three
stores.
different stores in a high-end mall in China. You fucking idiots.
Can we also just
Excuse
back
me,
up and
my
say,
F-bomb.
not only that, any other NCAA athlete will tell you that's instant grounds for removal of a scholarship. Right.
Yep.
That is instant grounds for
Expulsion.
expulsion from a
Right.
school.
Yep.
Right. All those things. And instead of that, we've got the president of the United States
Yep.
asking the president of China to step in. What?
I do want to say this, though. What's his name? Klay Thompson's dad. Michael Thompson.
Yes.
Michael Thompson mentioned on the radio about 5 days ago. He was like, wouldn't it be a great PR move for Trump to lobby the Chinese government to let these boys go? And they kind of said it jokingly, like tongue-in-cheek, ha, ha, ha. But that would be a great PR move for Trump to do that because he would gain so much ground with people who love sports. And,
Oh, here we go.
and here we are. Fast forward to
Gross.
today, right?
Gross.
I mean, I don't know what the other 2 boys' financial situations are. I don't even think it's about financial situations. I think it was
No,
just
it was stupid kid crap.
Stupid kids.
Stupid kid crap.
Stupid kids.
I want these kids out of China. I want them back home, but I want them, I hope, to have the worst, most scared, shitless experience being under house arrest in a foreign country. And if that doesn't right your ship, set the ship on fire.
I guess what bothered me, and we're done after this, because I hate carrying on about the Ball family. They are so back on the bus. Erica, we gave them their own family bus.
Family
they
bus.
sit in because they're
Family
buttery.
bus.
You know, it just gets back very simply being raised in the South, good home training.
Good home
you
training.
You can look and see that, unfortunately, the culture that they have come up in, they may be exceptional athletes.
Maybe. Oh, we don't know. That's TBD.
Well, they are, athletic tendencies that have gotten them to this level.
Right,
Let's put it
okay,
at
okay.
that. Their home training, they're so devoid of being solid citizens.
Okay.
And it gets back to solid citizens.
See, I cannot say that because Lonzo has not shown that he is a deviant in any way, shape, or form. Like we're taking one son and painting all the other 2 sons. I don't think that's
His
fair.
body language is terrible. Trish, sir, take over that argument.
Wait,
You have 30 seconds.
Lonzo?
30 seconds.
Okay, sorry.
30
Lonzo,
seconds.
they asked Lonzo after a Laker game, what do you think of your brother? And instead of just simply saying, look, it's my family, it's a family situation, and stealing's wrong. That's all you got to say. You don't have to say your brother did it. And you have to just say, it's a family situation. I'm not there.
Right.
I don't condone stealing on any level. And thank God my dad's there to, put it off on the fact that it is a family matter. And because at the end of the day, you are an athlete that little children are sitting there going, I like you. Just simply say what any human being would know. Stealing's wrong. But he didn't. He goes, blank as a door, honey. Blank as a door. Goes, I don't know. I didn't talk to him in China. So, what? What? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? It's your brother.
It's your brother.
If my brother was in another country, arrested, I don't give a shit if it's for Louis Vuitton glasses or taking somebody out. I'm like, some bitch, you would be emotional on some level.
Right.
And I'm not saying like, what? Getting all
of
crazy
Of course.
I'd get
He's
more
the
crazy.
All fairness, he's the best out of all of them.
For sure.
Right.
But still, it's just every single week. And now this idiot
but
is stealing.
We can't hold Lonzo responsible for not having an emotional
but
reaction
saying,
to the reporter's
in all
question.
fairness, they deserve a family bus. And we've got to wrap this up.
Okay.
So they're all on the bus.
Okay.
All on the bus.
2 good feel-good moments of the week. Now,
Feels good.
one of them is so heartbreaking and just a
good.
test of resiliency. So the feel-good is his resiliency. And then we have a story we'll end with that will just make you laugh and smile. San Francisco 49ers receiver Marquise Goodwin played against the Giants on Sunday, had the longest catch from scrimmage this season, but nobody knew that that morning his wife Morgan's baby passed away from complications from a premature pregnancy. He lost his baby boy at 4 a.m., went to the field, didn't tell anyone, put his helmet on, played, was a huge factor in the game. They beat the Giants. When he scored the touchdown, he blew a kiss to the sky before he crossed the goal line, knelt in prayer, surrounded, unbelievable.
Man.
Unbelievable. This is why I get angry at other players like Antonio Bryant from the Steelers that's like, I'm playing, I want to play, I'm going to hold on, I need more money, I'm going to, It is a privilege, a privilege and an honor to play a professional sport or to do what you love every single day and get paid for it. And this guy loses his son, puts his helmet on, goes to work.
Well, and Morgan, his wife, if you go to Marquise Goodwin's Instagram and see the post, it's powerful from him. But his wife, Morgan, did a separate post, which will also take your heart out. She's tagged in his image if you want to see her post and read it. But she very simply says, I'm just pulling a statement out of hers, which said, despite our loss, my hubby kept grinding, scored his son a touchdown, and got our first W of the season. He had a wonderful game today. I appreciate everyone who kept us in their prayers. First of all,
I mean,
that you said something like that after you just went through something so unimaginable.
Like, how are you even on social media?
But what a class act.
Very classy. I would be in a corner crying.
But I think that's what she needed to do to grieve. Obviously, like you needed to say, because when you see this, it's such a beautiful, because what people don't realize, and I'll be done not trying to make this morbid, this is why it's feel good, that he went and persevered. When someone has a child that they actually have to deliver and it's not alive, they make you have to take a picture of it. I grew up in a funeral home, so unfortunately I know this. They make you take a picture just like you would a live newborn because it's part of documenting a human being's existence. So you have to do all the things you do if it had lived. And so that sweet woman had to go all the way through it and still was set wonderful. And I think what a testament to who they are. And there's so many great stories like that in the NFL. Not great they lost a child, but great that they're those humans.
Yeah.
That I wish those were the stories that were told more than somebody beating the crap out of their wife. So anyway, Marquise Goodwin, you're a rock star.
I
and
want
so
your
are
jersey.
You, Morgan.
I want your jersey. Him
Yes.
and his wife and Morgan. Yeah. So just like huge hugs to that family, and I hope they have 10 kids. And what a great way. I mean, it was the Giants. Who cares? It was against the Giants. Had I known, I would have been screaming and
Cheering
crying,
for
cheering for Goodwin when he scored that touchdown. Last but not least, feel good moment of the week. This was sent to me, friend of the show, Jackie Garrett. You're the best. And also I follow American Outlaws on Twitter, which is the super crazy fun cheering squad for U.S. women's national team. and the U.S. men's national team. They have different pockets all around the country. And Britt, maybe her last name is Senator because her Twitter handle is @bsenator. Mm-hmm. She got married and reenacted the Brandi Chastain rip the T-shirt off from 1999 World Cup. She's in her bridal dress doing the same fist pump as Brandi Chastain. All her bridesmaids are behind her, cheering and running at her like the rest of the group in 99. They're wearing beautiful lavender dresses with Adidas soccer flip-flops.
And they're full soccer socks.
And they're full soccer socks.
It's so cute.
And it was the greatest photo I think I've ever seen in my entire life. We will post it. I tweeted at her because she was like, this is the greatest day ever that American Outlaws retweeted this photo or tweeted out this photo. And I said, and also you will be our feel-good moment of the week. So I'm going to link the episode up to her Twitter. But Britt, I mean, clap.
Yeah.
That was so fun, so creative, so feel good and so awesome. So thank you. Congratulations, first and foremost, on your wedding. Your bridesmaids are cool as shit. Mm-hmm. You're as cool as shit. Thank you for giving us that moment. You effing rock.
Yeah.
That is our show, you guys. That's our show. Make sure you follow us on the Facebook and at Sports Without Balls Pod on Twitter, on Instagram.
At Sports Without Balls on Instagram.
And leave us a 5-star review. We're gonna do more of these. 5-star review on iTunes. If you go to Sports Without Balls on iTunes, leave us a review. We will read it on the show. We'll give you a shout out. We're working on the website and merch that is creeping up. It's gonna be fantastic. Erica Davis, thank you so much for being so awesome.
Thank you for letting me come in more in my loss and talk about other stuff that's more important than college football, like great football players having a fantastic game after having such a ridiculous loss.
That story was unbelievable.
It was all good.
Really was.
Thank you.
Listen, it's not going to come naturally to me,
right?
But I'll be pulling for Georgia.
Please pull for Georgia. Keep us in. If you're a praying person, keep us in your prayers. If you're not a praying person, find God before the end of the season, because I need it.
In Erica's words, find God and cheer for Georgia.
Right.
Find God and cheer for Georgia.
That's adorable. That's a great way to say it. Where can people find you, Erica Davis?
Thanks, y'all, for finding me and having me. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm always fighting people on Twitter, any time of day or night, at Erica Renee D. Tweet me, at me. I will fight you too. And
I will fight you too.
and in other news where I don't fight people is on CNN Domestic and International, where I'm now a correspondent.
Yay! Thank you so much for coming on the show and being our college football correspondent. You are going to come back on before the end of the season. Will take us through the big games and then at least right around all the championship week, or right after the championship week, which will be the beginning of January. But you're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Trish Suhr.
Hi, babe.
It's so good to see you. Thank you for
to
calming me down and bringing me
Always.
a coffee
I'm
and
your
being
girl.
so awesome.
Thanks, babe.
And we'll put everything as you
Everything's
do.
up.
Everything's up.
I'm doing it as we speak, y'all. It'll be live. And we'll have the videos. You'll get to see what we looked like today. You're welcome. That will be up shortly. And, of course, you always can go to allthingscomedy.com to see any of that. And we're tickled to death you joined us.
Thank you, guys. Sports Without Balls fans, friends, family, have the best week of your life.
Summer Sanders called me 4 times. I hope she is not on fire.